And a good evening. Meteorologist Chris Smith here in the Panhandle Weather Studios. There's a good reminder right there. You can download the Panhandle Weather app. We appreciate it. Meteorologist Dan Nyman over there in Panama City. How are we doing today?
We are having a pretty good day across the Panhandle, but obviously much colder temperatures, well advertised at this point, now starting to work their way in. I put a couple t-shirts extra around the backflow preventer just in case. It's a pretty redneck wrapping job, but I wanted to be totally sure because there's a good chance up in my neck of the woods that a pretty large percentage of the next 36 hours are kind of around or well below freezing.
I was doing the math on that.
You don't see that often. It's unbelievable. Oh, Chris, you need batteries. Oh. Looks like you lost your batteries. The 15-second delay is crushing us again this week. There, I saw a blip. You're back.
There we go. I got full batteries now. How about that? But yeah, it's the duration of the freeze, and like you don't have to go to Home Depot and get anything fancy. It can be as simple as like just wrapping some towels around it and stuff like that. So anyway, we're going to get through it however we can, for sure. Okay. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what's going on across Northwest Florida as we are here on Panhandle Weather Live at 6 o'clock. We had a beautiful rainbow this morning, and when I was outside, or I looked outside, or I was actually looking at the tower cam, one of the cameras out of the corner of my eye when I was doing an update to, sending out some social media stuff, and I was like, there's some sun there, and I knew it was raining. I was like, I bet we'll get a rainbow, and like within like 20 seconds, Sandman had posted this picture of a beautiful rainbow there on the west end of the beach. Nick Vetter comes down for about I think he said January and February every year, and was able to capture that beautiful rainbow. And Jennifer and her son at the bus stop this morning over in Lynn Haven. Thank you so much for submitting those pictures. And then this evening, once again, that beautiful alto cumulus sky, and Miss Jamie, she's fishing with dynamite anyway. She's a really good photographer, but like that's just a gorgeous view there looking out towards Pinnacle Port and points eastward. And Donna Wells, usually up in Chipley, and I think she is in Chipley here, but it's looking up towards Dothan. You could see another fall streak hole today. So we got a lot of really good pictures, and we appreciate everyone for submitting them, especially through the Panhandle Weather app. It's the easiest place to do so. We'll get them other ways, but it's always easy there because it's just a few less clicks for me to get them into the system. So as far as temperatures for tonight, it will be a freeze for some of us. We'll drop down into the, most of us will drop into the 30s across Northwest Florida. So, or that's what that's what our low temperatures were this morning. I was wondering why those didn't look quite right. Okay, so let's bring it back. And again, some of us dropped into the 20s, but most of us were into the 30s and even 40s along the coastline. Like Destin was 45 last night. Temperatures today did climb up into the 60s across our area, low to mid 60s. And when you looked at those temperatures, that's close to average for this time of year. Destin right now, believe it or not, it's comfortable-ish for a bonfire. We got some folks out there in Destin doing so, 57 degrees. It's going to be a lot better than it will be tomorrow night, I assure you that. Meanwhile, Panama City, you're looking pretty good this evening. Temperature 56 degrees, winds out of the west-northwest at 4, and fairly calm winds out over into Panama City Beach right now, looking out over across Pineapple Willys. Our friends at Sharky's there, which I'm happy to say, Sharky's is going to be a partner with us here at Panhandle Weather. Found that out today. Welcome to the team, folks. And there you see, looking out towards the Gulf tonight, Loving it. Temperatures right now, 40s and 50s, and it's going to be slow to drop here for a little bit, but then while you're sleeping, it's going to get really cold. And we are warmer than we were 24 hours ago. Most of us into that 2, 3, 4, 5 degrees warmer, so we'll take that. But again, if you look carefully, you can see some blue up there. That is the leading edge of the cold air that will be moving in tonight. And to talk more about that cold air and what it means for us in the morning, we bring in meteorologist Dan Nyman.
Yeah, of course, we'll be keeping an eye out for a big change across the Panhandle. Like I said, it's been pretty well advertised at this point, so I'm going to stay away from the adjectives and just talk about the numbers here. As you see, winds already shifting. That northwesterly flow is going to pick up here over the next several hours. Not overly windy tonight, but setting the stage for what's going to be a very windy day across the Panhandle tomorrow. Very gusty conditions towards the coast, and then out over the Gulf, extremely rough waters will develop. That's the spot. Probably 80 miles south of us, you could see wind gusts in excess of 50 miles per hour. We're not going to see it that bad over the land, but certainly here tomorrow afternoon, you could see 25, 30, 35 mile per hour winds present, mainly through kind of late morning hours, about 5, 6 o'clock in the evening. They will start to subside somewhat, but they'll stay windy enough overnight Saturday into Sunday to keep some pretty aggressive wind chills around over the course of the overnight hours. And that's one of the big stories, of course, as we get into Sunday morning. As far as tonight's forecast, cold weather preparations not really necessary. We could see a few spots briefly touching freezing. We're getting just a degree or so below, but it's probably just a couple of hours at worst. So the concern for cold weather impacts, especially on your home, minimal tonight. A big concern, though, tomorrow night into Sunday morning. Low temperatures as you wake up for the start of the weekend, down to about 31 degrees in Vernon and Blountstown. You see a little cooler up towards the typical cool spots in the northwestern Panhandle. You got this front kind of pulling through, so it'll be colder west, a little warmer east. I think as you get down towards the Forgotten Coast, over towards, say, Wakulla County, Tallahassee, not even going to really get close to touching freezing, even if you are well removed from the water. As the rest of the day goes onwards, though, temperatures aren't going to rise a whole bunch. So the coldest spots tomorrow morning are the spots with the most time behind the cold front. You see here a few spots down into the mid-20s again, but as you work your way towards the east, Walton, Bay, Calhoun, northern Gulf County, if you get north of the bays, hour or two below freezing. Along the coast, you could hold on to 33, 34, 35 degrees, and then you get warmer, of course, as you traverse eastward, east of 231. Really not a whole lot of freezing spots. As you look at these temperatures, neighborhood by neighborhood, you're down to 31, 32, 33. A pretty manageable night tonight. The problem is, though, of course, tomorrow, temperatures aren't going to warm a whole lot from what you're seeing right here. So as you look at futurecasts, the skies will start to see these clouds pushing off towards the east. We could see a few backside clouds moving through early tomorrow morning on the backside of that front. Just a couple of cirrus clouds out there. You'll notice not a whole lot going on through most of the morning hours, but they'll be in and out across the Panhandle as you get through time frame. And then as you work towards the afternoon, skies open up, and we will be back towards clear skies for Saturday night. Another important detail as you look towards the forecast for cool temperatures Saturday night into Sunday morning. And that sets the stage really for what we're expecting Sunday morning. If you're here, you're probably looking for the low temperature forecast for Sunday or the wind chill forecast, or if you're Tracy, you're probably looking for the potential for snow flurries across parts of the state. Chris, I do think we have a chance still down towards Tampa. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think for us, hope is continuing to get flatlined right towards a 0% chance. Didn't see any on the models there. The in-house model that we showed normally is one that's a little more bullish, and it was looking pretty depressing with just a couple of clouds and no snow.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, because I was like looking up the snow chances in Tampa, completely ignoring like the snow in our area, because I feel pretty certain that that won't be the case. But you can see this is the European ensembles, and you can see there's actually, if you were to get in a boat, which I won't recommend it because you might drown, because it's going to be really rough in the Gulf this weekend. But there's a decent chance we could see maybe a little bit of snow south of us in the Gulf. And then you can see over on the West Coast, there's a little bit of a chance there. I pulled up the HER model, and this is Saturday night. Let's see, it's 1Z, and you can see there's a little bit of snow possible down there just north of the Tampa area. So, I mean, they at least have some hope, which, you know, I mean, is pessimistic as we are about snow here, just imagine being down there. So the fact that they even have a snowball's chance, if you will, forgive the pun, is pretty amazing.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of sky watchers tomorrow night trying to catch something out there, and it will be an awesome sight if they get it. I am rooting for that Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater area, but I'm just hoping that everybody's keeping expectations low there, because the famous line of disappointment from a few Sundays ago here in the Panhandle will probably be out and about down there too, where it's like, well, why did my neighborhood get it? It's like, well, you're 3 miles too far east.
Yes, exactly. And maybe in 30 or 40 years, you'll have another shot.
That's how it's supposed to go, although we've been kind of moving against that here too. But of course, coming up, we'll talk about the temperatures for Sunday morning. That's going to be kind of the big impact weather day for us here in the Panhandle, the one where you're going to need to protect the peas, keep all the pipes wrapped if you haven't already, and drip the faucets for Saturday night into Sunday. But then, Chris, maybe a little nicer temperatures towards the middle of next week, so something to look forward to. Yeah, cross your fingers. Something to look forward to, too.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
When it comes to building, local experience matters. At Mid-South Lumber, our team knows the job, and we'll help you get it right the first time. From weekend DIY projects to full custom builds, you'll get solid materials, fair prices, and service you won't find at a big box store. That's why we're the biggest little lumber yard in Panama City. Mid-South Lumber. Shop local. Build with confidence. Let's quote your next project today.
We're proud to bring you the most popular cars in the world, like the stylish Camry and the sporty Corolla. Get award-winning style and 2.99% APR on a new Camry, named Best New Model by Kelley Blue Book. Plus, you get 90 days until you make your first payment. Curb appeal comes standard on the new Corolla, designed to wow from the inside out. Get 2.99% APR plus 90 days until your first payment. Panama City Toyota, your Camry and Corolla headquarters.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. with professional-grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
Now, from your trusted team of meteorologists at Panhandle Weather, this is your evening forecast update.
And a good evening back here in Panama City. Chris over in Inlet Beach tonight as we talk about a very cold forecast, of course, heading into the upcoming weekend. Out there right now, a little comfort left lingering, but as we work through the next 12 hours, you'll be into that post-frontal environment. Temperatures will continue to cool all night long, and we'll go from where we are right now, mid-50s, into probably the mid-30s, where this camera is located up into Panama City Beach. Some spots in the northwestern panhandles, look up towards Jay or Munson or Baker, you could still dip briefly into the 20s, and then of course temperatures aren't going to warm a whole lot outside for tomorrow. Look outside right now over towards Destin. Dew point temperatures still holding on with a 5-mile-per-hour wind as temps are about 57 degrees. Pretty cool, calm conditions across the area. You'll notice the winds not picking up, as evident from that beach flag there. Holding on pretty much steady, not picking up as far as the winds are concerned, but that is a story as we get in towards Saturday. Winds are going to be a big deal out there. Wind advisory already in effect, and that'll keep wind chills extremely cold all day long for tomorrow, with temperatures feeling kind of unbearably cool outside as well. Saturday night into Sunday morning, the coldest night we've seen in several years here in the Panhandle. It was just a few days ago we were talking about the coldest temps so far this season. We're not using that anymore because every single time we do, it just seems to get worse. So hopefully this is the coldest spell we've seen this winter. The good thing is it should be a pretty brief cool down as far as temperatures are concerned. By the middle of next week, we'll already see those temperatures rising back to a slightly more comfortable feel, a little closer to where we should be for the time of year. Temperatures over the next several hours slowly dropping through the 40s at first, then into the 30s, and again, some spots in the northwestern Panhandle back down into the upper 20s. Winds pick up over that timeline too. We're 5 to 10 miles per hour right now. Tomorrow morning, 15 to 20 miles per hour. Then tomorrow afternoon, there is an outside chance of a few wind gusts in excess of 30 miles per hour. And that'll die down just a bit as we get in towards Saturday evening, but it'll stay kind of in that 10 to 15 mile per hour range, which is enough to take temperatures in the teens, make them feel like the single digits. Big time cold coming as a result of that. And finally, by Sunday, wind chills will be less a part of the conversation. Still a chance of a hard freeze Sunday night into Monday morning. The wind chills, though, will be much closer to the actual temperature because you see here, winds starting to kind of lighten up a bit. It will be much closer to that 5 mile per hour range. That does help temperatures cool, just doesn't make them feel significantly cooler. The next several hours, clouds still rolling through. That's all along the frontal boundary that we saw sweep through with the brief rain showers in spots earlier. Tomorrow afternoon, back towards the sunshine. Again, you have to go pretty far to the south if you want to find any sort of precipitation. And there's a chance as you get about 80 miles south off screen here of maybe some wintry precipitation in the clouds there. But for us, it's all cloud free for your Saturday forecast with temperatures tomorrow morning right around freezing towards the tri-state, upper 20s towards the northwestern Panhandle, then mid to upper 30s along coastal locations. Some of the warmest temperatures probably down towards Apalachicola, East Point, St. George Island tomorrow morning. From there, temperatures don't change a whole lot. We said this into the upper 30s along I-10 for high temperatures. So again, you could briefly touch the 40s, but most of the day, you're not really going to be there. You're going to be in the 30s even in Panama City for the bulk of the daylight hours. As you get down towards Apalachicola, maybe 2, 3, or 4 hours into the 40s. But overall, a very miserable forecast to spend too much time outside. It's a throw the closet on, stay warm sort of day, and the heat's going to be working real hard in your home as well. Still have Mardi Gras happening tomorrow. If you're going out to that, be sure to cover pretty much all exposed skin. Wind chills going to be in the 20s, more than likely, by the time fireworks are going on tomorrow night, and 30 minutes or so with exposed skin could start to cause problems for you. Potentially even with a longer duration of time, you could start getting into that frostbite territory. So very important if you're spending time outside at some of the events that haven't been canceled, that you wear clothing on every piece of skin that you have. Even face coverings, I think, not a terrible idea given the wind chill that's going to be out there. And then, of course, as we get to Sunday morning, actual temperatures down into the teens in many spots. Probably a daily record, not the coldest temperatures we've ever seen here in the Panhandle, but Chris, of course, we're talking about a lot more than just the given the wind forecast for that time frame, and Chris Smith will be here to tell us about the difference 15 miles per hour of wind will make when you have temperatures in the 20s and teens.
Yeah, it's going to be really cold. Just an FYI, Dan, they postponed the Golden Retriever meetup tomorrow. Okay, and then they did cancel the fireworks and the concert. So anything after the parade's at like 4:15. They'll do that, but the concert and the fireworks are canceled for Mardi Gras. But from 12 through the parade, that is still all systems go. So,
and then I think I saw the Golden Retriever Festival is now next Saturday.
Yes, it moved to the 7th.
Good.
Exactly. And fingers crossed it'll be at least a little bit, it has to be warmer by then. So,
it can't be worse.
Yeah, let's go ahead and look at those temperatures as we wake up on Sunday morning across northwest Florida. We're going to end up seeing those temperatures dropping down into the teens for inland areas, Walnut Hill and over into Pace. Feels like temperatures, that's the pink number there, right around 7 degrees. Even down to the coastline, we're still 20, 21, 22 degrees. Coastal sections of Walton Bay over into Gulf counties, you're looking at temperatures mid-20s at the coastline, but you move inland just a few miles and you're you're into the low 20s. The feels like temperature about 5 to 10 degrees. Down through the Forgotten Coast, even Cape San Blas and St. George Island will be in the 20s. Feels like temperatures into the teens. As you move across the bridge and head to land, you're 21, 22. Even Sumatra, 18 degrees. Through Gadsden County, Jackson County, you'll see temperatures into the low 20s. Feels like temperatures about 5 to 10 degrees. And then through the I-10 corridor, from Mariana, you're at 20. And then through Caryville and over into Pleasant Grove, you'll be at 20 degrees. And again, feels like temperatures about 6 to 8 degrees Sunday morning. Now, the winds will die down over the course of the day on Sunday, but it's still going to be plenty cold even during the daylight hours with sunshine. You'll still only climb up into the mid 40s across our region, but the winds do begin to die down by Sunday afternoon. Cold weather across the eastern two-thirds of the country on Saturday, and pretty much the same area as we head on into Sunday. The warm weather bottled up across the western United States. Meanwhile, the same system that's bringing us the cold air on the backside is going to whip around some moisture into some cold air across the mid-Atlantic, and places from say Augusta through South Carolina, North Carolina have the potential to pick up multiple inches of snow. Back here at home, all we get is cold weather. Temperatures 35 to 40 degrees below average Saturday and on into Sunday across the southeastern two-thirds of the country. And you'll see those low temperatures Sunday. We're talking about near record cold temperatures for the entire state of Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and parts of Alabama and on over into Louisiana and Mississippi. Now, warmer weather returns by the middle part of the week, and that brings in a chance for a few showers by Wednesday, a 50% chance of showers. So you see, there's your weather maker right there. And notice as it throws some moisture into the cold air, we get that brief change over to snow over into the Carolinas. The Northeast sees a glancing blow. Dan's family was probably about 50 to 100 miles away from seeing like a lot of snow, and they'll get pretty much no snow up in New Jersey. Meanwhile, looking out towards Tuesday, there's your front. The Gulf opens up, there's the moisture, and it will move into our area by later on Wednesday. Don't expect to see a whole lot, though. Look at the snowfall totals we're talking about in the Smoky Mountains and Charlotte and over north of Wilmington. We're talking about the potential for over 6 inches of snowfall. Meanwhile, a wide swath of this area will probably see about 3 to 6 inches of snowfall. Now, that next weather maker, you see it out to the west as we move through Tuesday into Wednesday, and you'll see it brings through at least some rainfall across our area, but likely not going to be like a prolific rainfall producer, and you'll see that with the rainfall forecast. The heavier rainfall to our north and west for us, we're kind of getting just kind of a side swipe from it, and we're talking about maybe about 1/10 of an inch of rainfall expected. So this weekend, again, cold weather. If we're lucky, we touch 40 tomorrow, 45 on Sunday. Notice Saturday will be very windy. Sunday will be mainly breezy, but we'll see plenty of sunshine on Sunday. Saturday, we'll see clouds for the first half of the day. You see this big trough of low pressure. Again, there's the big lobe right there. It swings through, and then look, here comes the warm air. Finally, it returns, and then look, here comes another swing through of another trough, and that brings with it another burst of cold air by the end of next week. Now, it won't be anywhere near as cold as this one, but it still will be cold and keep us below average. And you'll see that with our temperature forecast. We get to average, maybe a touch above average for Tuesday and Wednesday, but then we drop back down as we head into Thursday and Friday. And what to remember, coastal locations see a hard freeze on one morning. Inland areas will see a hard freeze probably 2 mornings, Sunday and Monday, and then you'll see a freeze obviously Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So you'll at least have 4, maybe 5 days with sub-freezing temperatures for inland locations. That cold weather across the eastern part of the United States, that continues through February 5th through 9th, and even as we extend that out to almost Valentine's Day, there's a likelihood that we'll still be looking at below average temperatures. So here's a look at that 7-day forecast. Take a look at it. We do see a warm up. The coldest of the weather is going to be out here on Saturday, Sunday. Then we warm things up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That chance of rain, not a lot of rainfall on Wednesday with middle 60s. Then we cool things down once again. Similar story for our inland friends with that chance of rainfall on Wednesday. But the coldest air in quite some time, Dan, this weekend. So we're just going to hunker down, play a lot of Parcheesi, We can't even watch football, which is like, there's nothing to pass the time. We're just going to be sitting there like looking at one another.
I mean, what are we doing at this point? I have to check. I don't know if there's NASCAR or not, if they still have the Clash before the Super Bowl. But Pat's in here in the chat. He said he's going into hibernation this weekend. It's going to be a similar plan for me. Actually, for me this weekend, it was great to see Chris at the green screen tonight. I will be constructing that in my home. So a little weekend DIY project, it looks like, is on the cards here. So you won't see all of my car paintings behind me soon. Instead, the wall in front of me will be green. Resale value in the home is going to drop, but it will be nice to have.
Oh, goodness. It will be. You'll love it. You'll get to feel like a real weatherman again.
Right now, I feel like a Twitch gamer, just sitting here with my mic and a webcam. So it will be awesome. Thanks for Cheryl and Linda and Cindy, Mary and Jessica and Carla stopping by here. And then the chat scrolled a ton tonight. We missed some of the comments. There's no scroll bar on it, which is a bit annoying, but good crowd here this evening. Hope you all guys have a wonderful weekend indoors.
Yes. We will see you later. I'm going to head out and see Charlie play a little flag football, and hopefully they finish up before the cold air arrives.
It's going to be at least not terribly cold just yet for that, Chris, but make sure there's no timeouts taken. You got to get home quick before it really starts to drop out.
Exactly. Y'all be good.